In the year 1835, there was a bold yet beneath-the-surface maneuver that would forever change the course of settlement in Australia. It revolved around a man named John Batman, a charismatic yet largely unknown figure whose actions paved the way for what would later be Melbourne. Batman, an entrepreneur and land speculator, was driven by the profound desire to establish a new way of life for himself and others in an untamed land. On a fateful day in May, Batman arrived on the banks of the Yarra River, where he was captivated by the lush landscape and the rich potential it held for agriculture. Fascinated by the local Aboriginal tribes, he entered into what he called a treaty with the indigenous people, claiming he had purchased over 500,000 acres of land. However, this so-called treaty was more of a farce than a genuine agreement, with language barriers and cultural misunderstandings playing vital roles in the deception. As word of his acquisition spread, the interest in the Port Phillip district surged. Settlers began flocking to this new land of opportunity, drawn by the prospect of a fresh start. Yet, unbeknownst to them, tension was brewing beneath the surface. The indigenous people, upon realizing the extent of the agreements, felt betrayed, as their connection to the land was being severed. The colonists viewed the Aborigines not as rightful inhabitants, but as obstacles in their quest for prosperity. The governor of New South Wales, Richard Bourke, was soon alerted to Batman's actions and was incensed. He denounced the treaty, claiming it had no standing under colonial law. Bourke understood that an escalating conflict was imminent, as the lands were now ripe for contention between the indigenous people and the growing settler population. Soon after, the British government officially nullified Batman's claims, igniting a fierce battle over land that would rage for years. Despite the eventual revocation of his treaty, Batman's vision of Melbourne began to materialize. He established the city as a key trading hub, leading it to become one of the world's most vibrant metropolises. Yet the very foundations of Melbourne were laid upon a mound of deceit. This initial bargain between Batman and the Aboriginal community foreshadowed future grievances. As settlers built homes and farms on the stolen lands, the dispossession and deprivation of the indigenous culture grew commonplace. The clash of cultures culminated in several violent confrontations as indigenous clans fought to protect their homes. Stories of massacres began to filter through, tales of betrayal and heartbreak echoing through the annals of history. Resistance to colonization was met with brutality as the British imposed their will on the land and its people. As the years rolled on, the significance of Batman's actions came to symbolize the painful beginnings of Melbourne's story and the larger narrative of colonization in Australia. The city grew and prospered, yet its birth was shrouded in the dark reality of displacement and destruction for its original inhabitants. Today, as we walk through the bustling streets of Melbourne, it's essential to remember that every step we take is on land imbued with a history of conflict and survival. The legacy of John Batman serves not only as a catalyst for development, but also as a reminder, a warning, perhaps, of cultural erasure, a struggle for identity, and the price of progress in a land that was not empty, but rich with life and history long before it became a city.